This presentation is made possible by the Zambian Institute of Pseudo Science, which doesn't exist yet, and Avocado Media, which exists now. Nostradamus, Nikola Tesla, The Simpsons. Although these three names have little in common, they are all credited with having predicted the future with suspicious accuracy. Nikola Tesla, for instance, predicted a self-driving car and the internet as far back as 1926. During their time, they were obviously looked at as crazy people for one reason or the other, even though they were the leading minds in their field, The Simpsons included. These days, people don't put much stock into predictions. Well, maybe until now. Here are 10 things that will most likely happen within the next 300 years. In 300 years, I predict that the world will be run by one government. From the ashes of communism and whatever the West calls its system of governance shall emerge a new hybrid government that will spread across the whole globe and possibly other planets. This government will be made up of representatives from most of the world's previous countries and will be credited with ending world hunger. In the next 3 centuries, race will be declared redundant, as most of the world will be ethnically similar. As the internet and connectivity continue to grow exponentially, human beings will realize that race has only served as a hindrance to their progress. Some ethnicities will simply die out due to war and its consequences. And under the world government, race will be then declared irrelevant to the evaluation of human capacity. Within the next 30 decades, the pharmaceutical industry will undergo a complete reset and focus more on the study of traditional medicine. Human life expectancy will triple because of this, leading to one of the most prosperous times in human existence. This medical revolution will make groundbreaking strides in treating human maladies with non-physical phenomena such as sound, light, and art. In 3 centuries, marriage will no longer be as popular as it is now. I predict that the human condition will evolve in favor of a consensual multi-partnered arrangement, and this will eventually end conventional marriages. This is not to say marriages will completely die out. There will remain a minority that still practice marriage. The majority of humans, however, will marvel at why anyone would endure such an archaic practice after having evolved to a more harmonious experience. In the next 300 years, I predict the existence of a fully autonomous city. All aspects of this city will be automated by an artificial intelligence. The city will simulate human life, and its automated inhabitants will be used to study human evolution. Eventually, human beings will be allowed to access parts of this city for a closer look at the lives of automated beings. During our years of medical revolution, human beings will experience a boom in population. With this boom will rise a fear that the Earth's resources will not be enough to sustain its inhabitants. And to remedy this, billions of humans will sacrifice themselves for the greater good and continuation of the human race. This will be known as the Great Sacrifice. As science reveals more of our existence, the power of religion will begin to shrivel. Just like humans, religions have an expiry date. two of the world's biggest religions in my time are not even older than Hinduism, which is slowly fading before our very eyes. As scientific discovery digs deeper and exposes more, human beings will lean away from their beliefs. In 300 years, I predict a museum of world religion, and many humans will visit it to get a glimpse of what strange things we, the barbarians of old, believed in. Within 30 decades, a gender war will erupt in the sports world. After years of subjugation at the hands of the majority males, sportswomen across the world will refuse to participate in the Olympics. Shortly after that, the sportswomen will reveal a team that will challenge the male-dominated industry across various sporting disciplines. After months of furious dispute, the Olympic Committee will announce the Gender Olympics, which will become the highest viewed sporting event in human history. The women will win a majority of the categories. In 300 years, the television will be replaced with a more immersive experience. YouTube, Hulu, iPlayer, Netflix, and other over-the-top services, not to mention illegal downloading, all offer alternatives. Apple and Google have both launched OTT services that let consumers play online content through their televisions, although Google's service is only available in the United States. We are watching more video than ever before this way, but we are also watching it off a television screen less. And this will continue to happen until eventually watching television will be like playing vinyl. Now this is where it gets interesting. You see, if most of my predictions are correct, whoever finds this in 300 years will be astounded at how accurately I described my future. This will give rise to a small group of people that shall hail critic as first a prophet and then a god. This small group will continue to grow until it's large enough to be recognized as the only acceptable world religion. See you in 3 centuries.